War continues in Ukraine. U.S. lawmakers are visiting Ukrainian refugees in Poland, and one of those is Kansas Representative Jake La Turner. He joins us live now. Good morning.
With you.
All right, we hear you, but we don't quite see you. There we go. There you are. Hi.
Good morning. I'm glad to be with you.
Thank you so much. Well, hey, you were one of 7 lawmakers to travel to Europe. So what was the purpose of the trip, and how long were you there for?
The trip was to see exactly the situation on the ground, how U.S. dollars are being spent in terms of humanitarian aid, and how we're getting supplies to the Ukrainians, which is so important. And we also got to see the posture of NATO, because as you and my constituents understand, is we have to be ready to defend every square inch of NATO territory. Putin is really out of his mind, and what he's doing to the people of Ukraine is devastating. We interacted with refugees that they just got done leaving their husband and their father to fight against the Russians, and really don't know what the future holds for them. And so providing humanitarian aid, providing weapons to Ukraine is absolutely the right thing to do. And then we need to make sure that NATO stands ready if Putin decides to go any further.
All right. And what all countries did you visit?
So we were in Poland, in Romania, and in Moldova. What's fascinating about that is Poland and Romania are both members of NATO, and then Moldova is not. And so we had the chance to see exactly what their posture looks like there. They are extremely concerned when you have Vladimir Putin acting in such an unhinged manner, what he might be capable of next.
And what insight did you guys gather on how the U.S. can better help there?
Well, we've passed a $13.6 billion package here in the Congress to aid the Ukrainian humanitarian response and to make sure that we're providing the weaponry that's needed to fight this war on the ground. The Ukrainians, led by President Zelensky, are doing a fabulous job. They really are. The Russians had no idea. Putin absolutely miscalculated not only what the resolve of the Ukrainians would be, but what the response of the West would be. We have stepped up to the plate. We, the United States of America, NATO has stepped up to the plate to make sure that they have the things that they need to continue this fight. And we hope and we pray that they'll be successful.
Yeah, and were you able to meet with any soldiers from Kansas over there?
I absolutely was. It was one of the highlights for me to get to see our brave men and women, interacted with folks from Fort Riley, Fort Leavenworth, who are doing a fabulous job. They are standing ready. These are brave men and women that are sacrificing on our behalf, and we could not have a better fighting force with NATO making sure that the Putin goes no further.
All right. You kind of touched on this in the last question, but I have one question for you. We're running out of time. What impact did the trip have on you personally?
Well, the biggest impact for me personally was visiting with these mothers and these children. Some of these children the same age of the children, the 4 kids that Suzanne and I have at home. They are going through hell right now, and they need our help. They need our prayers. It is the right decision for us to not go into Ukraine, not send soldiers into Ukraine, but everything else we can do in terms of humanitarian assistance and making sure that they have the lethal weapons to fight back against the Russians, we need to do it.
All right. Congressman La Turner, thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Thank you for having me.